Well, hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate you. Tonight, we're talking about Lilly and Jack Sullivan, some things that we have learned over the last 24 to 48 hours. We're going to be sharing with you today. Buckle up because it's going to get real. There is some shocking info, in my opinion. Let me know what you think on the other side of this.
Big plane, come along with me. Together with the truth you see. Got our pearls and our laughter too. The search for facts is always new. In this place we keep it real. Classy vibes and joyful zeal.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, House Music. Thank you, Lovey. Appreciate y'all so much. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you all for standing strong. Together we belong. Hit the light and share the vibe. Touch the world, let's take the ride. Come in here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear. Thank you all for standing strong. Together we belong. Hit the light and share the light. Touch the world, let's take the ride. Come in here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear.
Pearls were bound together through the storm and darkest weather. We search high, we search low, together everywhere we go. Justin's here and he's going live with the best fans by my side. We're a family, we hold strong. Together we can right the wrong. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars. Searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream, every heartfelt plea. We are one in this community. Daily grind, but we're not stopping. Pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars. Searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream, every heartfelt plea. We are one in this community. Daily grind, but we're not stopping. Pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars. Searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream, every heartfelt plea. We are one in this community. In the night, stopping, pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care.
Click play and come along with me. Together with the truth you see.
Verna, appreciate you,
Got
my
our
dear.
pearls and our
Good to
laughter
see you.
too. The search for facts is always new. In this
Thank you,
place
Estelle,
we
my
keep
love.
it
Appreciate
real.
you.
Classy vibes and joyful zeal. Join the journey, it's just begun. We shine brighter than the sun. Hit the like and share the vibe. Clutch those pearls
you,
and sing
Estelle.
the ride. Comments here and spread the cheer. Members
It's
make
funny,
the
Rhonda.
truth so clear. Defending truth is what we do. So hit subscribe and join the crew. With every search we pave the way. Together we will save the day. Defending truth
Thank you
is
again,
what we
Estelle.
do.
Thank you so much, honey.
So hit subscribe and join the crew. With every search we pave the way. Together we will save the day. With every laugh we lift our hearts. In the search we all take part. Thank you all for standing strong. Together we belong. Hit the like and share the vibe. Clutch those pearls and take the ride. Comments here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear. Hit the like and share the vibe. Clutch those pearls, let's take the ride. Comments here and spread the cheer.
Love.
Members make the truth so clear.
Well, hello, 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 everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is July 10th, 2025. It is currently 7:46 p.m. in the east coast of the United States. Hello. Bonjour. Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Thank you so much, Verna, as well. Not been dealing. Oh, goodness, Verna. I hope you're okay, darling. Prayers and thoughts go to you, honey. Take care of yourself. But we're so glad you're here with us tonight. Thank you so much. And Kim, welcome to the Pearl family. Really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Thank you, everyone, for your gifts and stuff. I really do appreciate you very much. Guys, we have a lot to talk about in this case. Me and Cher here, where I'm going to be bringing her up. She is a fellow Canadian, and we have been working it like it's 1976, honey, with this case. Really have. So I'm going to bring up Miss Cher today, and we're gonna get to it. I'm going to be on her in a little bit, her live later tonight. Um, Cher, you there?
I'm here.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing? It's
Uh,
uh,
thi- if you need to step aside, just let me know.
Yeah, I may just have to like mute or
Gotcha.
step
Yeah.
aside. I am at work,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
but I'll be back.
Yeah. Do you need to step aside now?
No, no, no.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
when and if
Okay.
that happens, I can't always like say, "Hey, I got to step aside." I just go and then, but just know I'm coming
I
back.
got you. I got you. This case is crazy,
A
and it's
real roller
getting
coaster.
crazier, Share.
Yeah.
And I know that you've been working your sources hard, and I've been working mine hard, to say the very least, right? And so my live last night, you called me and you were like, "Do you know something?" You know?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Because I was like, "Holy
"I don't know,
crap,
maybe do
there's
you know
too much
something?"
alignment happening right now."
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, "Maybe do you know something?" You know?
Right?
So we kind of got our sources a little bit together here. And so first of all, let me do a disclaimer. I've just done a crap load of disclaimers. Everything we're going to be talking about, uh, consider it a theory at this point, okay? Because there is no one that has
Mhm.
been named as a suspect or that they're guilty of anything at this point, right? But what we are going to talk about is you've talked to some sources and
Well,
some
well,
retired. What's that?
yeah. Everyone knows we all have our sources, and as you
Right.
guys know, I work on a local case, so I've been tied with uh RCMP for years.
Right.
I am Canadian, but yeah, I started digging in local cases, so I a lot of us have friends in high places and low places, and they're in our back pockets. So maybe something comes up that we know that they are more educated and specialize in, or maybe had
Mhm,
careers once upon a time in.
mhm,
And I
mhm,
happen to be lucky enough to be able to bounce ideas off of many different cases. In fact, I went to some of these RCMP retired officers through some of Summer's stuff
mhm.
and Courtney
Well, I
Struble and different cases where I get advice and such from.
I remember I talked to you a while back about you was actually I think it was on Mark's lunch break. Y'all were going, and you were
Yeah,
like, "Hold on, I gotta go." He was like, "We're going on lunch break." Um, so yeah, we talked to people,
yeah.
and there's how should we say it? There's been a lot of story changes. Right. There's been a lot of story
Yeah.
changes
Yeah.
in this, and it seems like, in my opinion,
I would say I've
and
been pretty fair as well, like with being on the fence and not really going with
you've
the
been
obvious of bashing
extraordinarily,
stepdad
yeah,
right away.
yes, you're actually very, very fair because when I, you, s- yeah, yeah. Um, so, you know, Malaya hasn't talked a lot. Daniel has talked a hell of a lot, and all of that. So we've been scratching people's brains, right? And they have we'll just say told us what their we're going to say theory for uh
Hmm.
legal reasons more
Yep.
or less. Um
I've got to step away
and
one second.
yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. And so we're going to kind of talk about that because there has been little chips off the buck. Thank you guys for your donations. I really do appreciate you. I will get to all of that. I just don't want to lose my train of thought because this is really important what we're going to be talking about today. And it's been kind of chipping away at the block a little bit at a time. We've uh Malaya's sister came out, half sister, and she threw Daniel under the bus about the rugs. right? About the rugs. And to me, that wasn't really shocking, but we needed to hear that to somebody needed to say that, right? Because when there is many, you will see many times in these cases, there will be CPS or there will be rugs or there will be both, right? And many times there is CPS, rugs, and a stepdad or a stepmom or whatever, but there's always a formula that you will notice in these children going missing. Almost always, always, especially under suspicious circumstances. And um, Cheryl just let me know whenever she comes back. Um, there's a few things that I think is very important. Now, whenever, like I always say, when the first interviews are very, very important when it comes to someone going missing because those are the most authentic. People don't have time to change their stories. And when we hear things in the very beginning, that's when you should listen up, in my opinion. And if you remember in the beginning, whenever we heard that CPS uh, took Meadow out of the home, Malaya was allowed to go with, be in the same, I guess, home, but they couldn't be in that home. And to me, that said a lot, right? To me, that said quite a bit. Are you there, Cher? Okay, she might not be. And what they could say now, we got to remember this. Think about this for a moment. They said, Malaya, you can't have Meadow, but you can be around Meadow for a time being, right? As long as your mother has her. And then apparently she broke some terms of the agreement and then they took Meadow out. But she couldn't stay in that house. That house. What was the rumors when that started happening? It was that there was rugs found in the house, right? Rugs found in the house. Then there was the neighbor that came out and said about Wednesday or Thursday, they couldn't remember, but there was a lot of people there Wednesday or Thursday. And then after the Malaya's sister came out and said, we found rugs, or there was rugs. Daniel was in there in the bathroom doing something, and that's when they got all in the big fight. Both sides of the families are fighting and all of that.
And Justin, you remember where, speaking with same sources, before that even came out by that person, these same people that were, our sources, that the same people that I have had conversations with brought that up before it was
Mhm.
even really public like it is, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. 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 And then we have, you know, the we have the I call her Junkyard Janie, not wanting the RCMP to come and look in her cupboards at
Mm-hmm.
the time, right?
Yeah.
And why? And everyone's like, and remember, the kids had not even been missing a full 24 hours, or maybe about 24 hours at that point. And they're like, Mom, she's not
Yeah.
blaming you and all this.
Yeah, it was less than. And so she definitely obviously felt like fingers were pointing at her.
Right, but I mean, they're just looking for the kids. They're going to search the entire property. That's very weird. And
Yeah.
Justin, Daniel's brother, is very upset over all of this happening. Now everyone acts differently, but they said he was unusually upset in their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's. How should we? Should How should we go about this share?
I don't know, right? There's so much. So, do you have the like easy and quick? Could you get to the um interview where Malaya is in her Hello Kitty t-shirt and talking?
Yeah,
Do you mind if
yeah,
we could go through that?
absolutely,
Because
absolutely.
that was kind of top of the discussions today,
Yeah.
and something was said that I absolutely took mental note of and thought, well, this is interesting because I kind of had that feeling, but to hear people whose profession it is, and just because they're retired doesn't mean, I can say they're absolutely in the know. You know what
Right,
I mean? So,
right. I
um,
mean, they are, but
yeah.
just be
I was
careful.
kind of shaking today after conversations, you guys. I had to call like Justin, like this is crazy because while it's not really answered and nobody can tell anything on an open investigation, you walk away from some conversation saying, well, holy shit, well, it's not really answers. It tells you some personal answers and kind of where you're either wrong on some things or right on some things, when
Well,
people are
it's more of, in my opinion,
27 plus
about
years these gentlemen have been in the RCM or have given their lives to the RCMP career. Is that a good way to put it?
yes, yes, yes. Um, and this, in my opinion, what we're going to talk about today tells us more about the how than the why or the where. Am I wrong?
Say that again.
I said
Oh,
to
yeah. No, you're
about
right.
the
Yep.
how more of the. So, all right, here we go.
And I want them
You,
home.
you just tell me when you want to pause it.
Okay.
What happened was we woke up, I heard them playing in the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep. And they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them. And they happen to just get out that sliding door, and we can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time. And the next thing we knew, it was quiet, and we get up, and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the
Okay,
kids?
right
And
there.
he
Can you
said,
pause?
Mm-hmm.
So I believe after conversations that right there is what Chris McDonough would call a quick self edit moment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I walk away from conversations today with belief that somebody was living there with Daniel and Malaya. That person's very vocal on YouTube. That person's been told multiple times by law enforcement to shut the hell up. And I believe who told me that over pretty much anyone else on the YouTube streets saying otherwise.
Well, this is what I find very
Right,
amazed. This
right
is what
there,
I
I think she was talking about telling a potential roommate, I'll say, and then she catches herself, and then she's like, my partner Daniel, because
mhm.
you didn't have to throw that in there, but you did for a reason. So
Well, let's talk about that alleged party.
mm-hmm,
When Daniel says, "No, not the night before. Not the night before." Right?
mm-hmm,
So, this is what we're kind of learning is that Daniel and Malaya, allegedly Malaya and the kids were seen Thursday evening. Thursday evening. But share,
mm-hmm,
whenever people are on math,
Mm-hmm.
right? When they've been up for an extended amount of time.
You said it. You just said it. I don't know if you have a way where we can pull up where everyone keeps saying I was in and out of sleep, I was awake, I was asleep, I was in and out of sleep.
Yeah, well,
Well,
they try to get sleep,
right. Well,
right?
here's the
That's it.
thing. Again, there is, I'll say, uh, some retired RCMP officers believe that that's actually when they were just going to go to bed.
Bingo. Bingo. Yes. Same thing. Yes. Same thing I've been hearing. And that that is why the kids missed school Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
because Wednesday there was, they were acting like animals at their
Mm-hmm.
house,
Mm-hmm. And
after
ask
school.
yourselves why that Durwood is riding for Daniel so hard, but can't seem to pick a side of the fence between Malaya and Daniel. Wonder who the potential alleged roommate was, and why he would know so much. Just that was That's just a question that RCMP told me to ask myself. No, not
I don't
RCMP,
know.
retired RCMP
Didn't he
officer.
hold on a second? Didn't he say something to the effect of, I got kicked out of my place, or his place got burnt down or something?
Wait, did he?
Well, I knew he said something was with this house situation got him out of there because he couldn't stay there anymore. I don't know what he said. I don't listen to him that much except when he came on my
Okay,
place.
hold on, because that's very interesting. That when you've got people be like, ask yourself this question, it's kind of like, huh,
Yeah, he
okay,
lives in his truck or car now.
okay.
But
Well, if Daniel's watching, it'd be interesting. Would Daniel or his mom or Malaya or anyone admit that Durwood was actually there? And is anyone going to admit that? Or
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he was
right?
there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he could have stayed in the camper. My thing isn't so much Durwood. My thing is that morning, right? My
Mhm.
thing is, did was Daniel and Malaya, they had just gotten money because they had just got paid. That's when the checks roll out in Canada,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
They had just went to town. They were seen in a parking lot. What, in my opinion, what do ruggies do? They meet people in a parking lot, right?
Yeah. And Daniel's co-worker.
Yeah, well, he says he says he talks to people, the coworkers in the parking lot. One of his,
Mm-hmm.
he says he sees his coworker in the
Mm-hmm.
parking lot,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they go home that night. They go home that evening. Daniel says he's outside looking at, or not looking, working with the chicken wire thing.
Right. Oh, that could
Junkyard
be.
Janie, she's supposedly getting the rocks
Oh, yeah. Right.
right in the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
But what is interesting to me, were they up all night, or is it
Up all night.
that they wanted to go to sleep? And what do they tell you? What do they tell you? Uh, they said, Lily kept coming in and out of the room, in and out of the room. I
Yes.
told her I didn't want them to wake up Meadow,
Yes.
which, I mean, it's, you know, 8 or so in the morning.
Can we let's talk about that. Let's just say it how it is now. So I've sent you some text, Justin. And Daniel told me that the kids went down usually around 7 p.m., right?
Mhm.
But sometimes around 9. So between 7 and 9 p.m., the kids go to bed. So we're
Yes.
putting that at when he
Yes.
says they're coming in and they're going in and out of sleep. That's where the conversations with sources today are. Well, they weren't like in and out of sleep. They were just trying to go to sleep. And what if, we'll just word it like this, Meadow was just getting down. You also know that Daniel had told me the kids are very loud, but Jack, for some reason, gets the brunt of things. And when we go back
Yes.
to different interviews, you hear in Daniel's own words. So after conversations today with sources, I'm going back and replaying all these things, and everything is freaking aligning. So what if they're just going to bed at that time? And so she's canceling the school because they're not going. They were up all night. They're grungy. She knows she's going to get in trouble if they even go to school because like no one's slept. They're just trying to go to sleep. Jack's being loud. What if he gets into an altercation with Daniel and or Malaya, whatever, because he doesn't want the baby awake who's sleeping in bed with them. They're all trying to just go to bed, including Daniel's mom. And Lily, basically, because you ask yourself, why Jack and Lily? Why is Meadow not gone? And that's a question I have for these guys. And they're like, well, share. Meadow doesn't talk. Meadow is 17 months old. She doesn't talk. So she can't say something if she wanted to. Lily can talk. Lily has a memory. Lily's going to say things.
Yep. Yep. And that's right. Well, I mean, you know, and just if they're on math to begin with, especially I've got it pulled up here.
And that makes people's mood and mood change, sorry,
No,
very,
you're fine.
very bad. Moods are up and down and anger and all of that. So
Well,
yeah, I'm kind of learning a lot about that stuff myself now.
it can some researchers have found that stimulant effects of the drug meth last approximately hold on, a national injustice of justice report states that it can last 12 to 14 hours. Yeah, other sources report that the high can last up to 24 hours. And the crash, binging eventually accumulates in a dramatic crash or come down when the person stops feeling a rush from the rug or runs out of math. The crash is associated with extreme exhaustion and long periods of sleep.
Mhm.
And that there's tweaking and all of that
Tweaking, yeah.
other
Well,
stuff.
Meadow's not meeting her milestones fully, you guys, but Meadow definitely is not forming like she's not talking like, hey, I saw Daniel do this. Meadow's just little, and
What's that? The real Me Too.
from what I hear, she's not talking like that. Can't sleep with kids. Oh, there's a chat. Dramatic crash. Yeah. Angry if you can't get sleep when you're trying to sleep, but I'm not sure if they would be out because I know that some higher ups believe there was drugs at the actually Haley says there was rugs found at the premises. So I
Oh
don't
yeah,
think,
she did, and then she
yeah,
backtracked on it because it made Malaya look like a
Malaya
piece of
looked bad.
shit too.
Yeah, so I'm not
That's the
sure
reason.
anyone was like crashing because I
So,
think that they had it
so
available.
that's what I
Available.
was asking the real Me Too. Like, what the hell is she talking about? Because
Mm,
uh, if I don't believe someone said, oh yeah, that he was banging around in the bathroom and we had to use the bathroom, and then you know all this fight broke out and all that. I mean, hello. So
mhm.
if someone says, yeah, Daniel's on math in Malaya, I said, Malaya, what the hell are you doing?
You
And she
don't,
said, well, he's
Sherry.
been doing it the last 2.5 years. And then the next day, you're like, oh, no, he was. And I take it back. I didn't say you can read him what you want to with it. Bullshit. Come on. If you want the truth to come out, people, you got to start telling the truth. Let's get real. So there's that. I wanted to see what was it, the real Me Too? What are you talking about? I want to know what you're talking about. Okay. So, are you there, Cher?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, that should be better. Hello, Soldier Girl. Good to see you. The rugs in bathroom Haley lied about. No, okay.
I don't know that she lied, you
So
guys.
she didn't say she saw drugs in the bathroom. She never said she saw drugs in the bathroom, but they were in there. I forget what it is. I can pull it up. And then she goes out to Malaya's out in the driveway and she's like, he's been doing meth for the last 2.5+ years. So
No, I can't say it's
there we go.
fact that Durwood was living there. I'm not even 100% it was Durwood. I am 100% that there are some people that, do believe, again, these
I
are
think
retired RCMP, but the word is there was somebody else staying there. And
it's Justin that was staying there. But I think Durwood's trying to make his way in there. And I think he's probably been there definitely before.
that I think Durwood was there before, but yeah, I do
Yeah.
think there was yeah, after conversations today, I absolutely think there was a roommate, but I don't know between Justin or Durwood, but it's definitely someone
Durwood
that's
said
talking.
Daniel was in a program and going to a meeting, but I know about plenty of that are in Nova Scotia working the system, getting welfare every month. Oh wow. So
Hair samples
what
on Daniel. Yeah, green eyes.
what are rugs at a D
Yeah.
in front of it? Yeah. I
And
think they're all suspicious. Every freaking one of them,
I did too, and I really
including
thought that
which
Belinda and Cody were a little bit suspicious, but uh these my sources say no, and that that's kind of understanding, suspect everyone, but they actually changed my mind 100% on Cody and Belinda, which I didn't think would
I've never
happen.
been worried about them. I've
Yeah,
never been
I
worried
would
about
honestly, yeah, Belinda isn't, I personally don't feel from conversations I've had that Belinda's on any radar, and she's
No.
actually the only one that's been making these children come to life for us to try and learn what we learn about them. And so
Yes.
yeah, I'm actually very appreciative that she's talking, and I can see she's also being super smart over there on the It's a Crying Shame. She's over there and she's using platforms very wisely, I would have to say, and she's not stirring pots and doing what we are used to seeing.
Right.
And again, hearing from people who have given their life for the RCMP and had that as a career for over 27 plus years, some of these fellows, and to say that, no, I believe them,
1,000.
anyone
Yeah.
can make themselves kind of look suspicious when you're talking online. It's easier to do than you think without even trying. So
Sure.
it's not really even fair. Yeah.
Yes, but I absolutely. Let me pull that girl up. What was the channel that
And the law is absolutely watching because they have mentioned
thank you,
channels. So
Jen.
just know that law enforcement, retired
Oh,
and not retired, is absolutely watching everything going on and having their own conversations. And they're not even hiding it. So unfortunately I'd have to say that
I mean,
Miss
I've
Melinda
got
knows it's
mods
Belinda.
who are their
Mm.
husbands are retired from RCMP.
You're probably hearing a lot of the same things then, but I'll tell you what.
Mhm.
Yeah, never
Yep.
mind.
Yep. Yep. I think I tell you another person I think
Unfortunately, then Justin, you must also hear what I hear. I would have to say, and I don't like this, and I don't want anyone to lose hope, but they're very open about it around these streets,
they
you
don't
guys,
think they're
that those
alive.
kids are not alive,
No.
which will tell you why they're not, you know, they got wind of that and they have their proofs on certain things that they're not going to let loose because there's going to be only things you guys all know how it goes, but yeah.
This no different Justin lost Jackie. Another Justin, that's Daniel's. Um
Yeah, another
so,
Justin.
yeah. Um but I think we need to Daniel's dad lives very close to there,
Mm.
right? And he was the one that was really angry whenever I think it was a TikToker that drove by there. He was so angry, and he lives supposedly really, really close. And I don't know, like I feel like Daniel got a hell of a lot of help that morning.
Mm.
You know, you see Malaya's going to say she was asleep here, and Daniel, or sorry, she was going in and out, and Daniel was asleep, and then Daniel's going to say I wasn't even asleep at all, not even close.
Well, Daniel, I know you watch everything you're tagged in, and Daniel, you already know that the law knows you guys were awake all night because you already know that there's a specific neighbor that knows you were awake all night, and the law is talking about this very openly that you guys didn't even try to go to bed until about 6:15 a.m.
Sorry,
So,
I felt
yeah,
like
there's no telling me
right.
different. So, I know who the conversations I have in with who. There's no hiding it, Daniel.
Daniel, it's time.
Yeah.
Walk your ass into the RCMP before they come get you.
all expensive all expenses paid trip, because and you already know too that Daniel, and he's all over the place, but Daniel told me that someone's going to prison for what happened. You don't go to prison if the kids are alive and well. I mean, maybe you'll get a couple of years, but that could get reduced to like home sentencing over lying to some police
Yeah.
or something. Maybe you'll get like 3 years or something, but the whole prison thing is a little weird. But again, Daniel's been told to his face, from what I've been told, that the law knows they've been awake all night. There's a reason. Oh, you know what else? You know what else they said? And maybe I already said this, Justin.
What?
Daniel did not right away jump on the lie detector. Daniel, why don't
Oh yeah.
you, if you want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
prove me wrong, but there's retired law enforcement saying that they heard through the grapevine that Daniel was asked to do a lie detector and he
Yep.
pushed it off for a couple of weeks and then
He
he did it.
sure did. He sure did. He said they gotta wait till
Well,
they
that's
get
not what
placed
he's
in here.
telling me.
He acts like he acts like Canada is like a developing nation or something. We don't do lie detector test here. You're like, hello, it's freaking Canada. It's not Timbuktu. They use the RCMP uses polygraphs all the time. So he's absolutely full of it there. Absolutely full of it.
Oh yeah, this is just, I'm voices behind the wall. I'm just a friend and fellow creator of Justin's, and I talked for years, for many years. I reach out to people and I talk to people, and I have friends and people I talk to, and of course some of them, just like a lot of people probably have friends who either, you know, they're partners in the RCMP, or they were once upon a time in RCMP, but they still, you know, they're very much in the know because there's, you know, they all talk and everything, and they have their thoughts and theories too. And I kind of bounce ideas. I've gone to Summer Wells. I dig in a Courtney Struble, which is a local case to me. So I've like dealt with some personal RCMP people and retired RCMP people and people from all around the globe, to be honest, that I bounce ideas from multiple cases. So of course, when this one came up, and again, other people, I'm sure Sunny from It's a Crying Shame knows people too and can tell you it's not hidden on these streets. You just listen to how the cops even talk in the press conferences. They are very vocal with what their thoughts and opinions are.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit shocked, but also not shocked. So again, these are just my opinions and my thoughts that I gather for myself after having certain conversations with people I have conversations with is all. And you can believe or not believe, I'm okay with that, and I get it, there's no proofs of anything, and law enforcement shouldn't be
It's coming
saying
out.
certain things, and they're not, like, we're not giving you guys any answers. We don't know no answers. They can't give anything retired or not retired in open
Well, we still don't
investigation.
know where Jack or Lily is, and that's the main
Exactly.
thing,
But you can
right? That's
definitely walk away from conversations with people that you've admired for many years prior to this case that definitely know what they're talking about because
well,
that's
it's
what
not
their
our first
career
rodeo.
is.
It's definitely not
Exactly.
their first rodeo.
Yeah.
And
And I left conversations the last couple days and a few times where I'm calling Justin up and I'm like, holy shit.
that's what we've both been doing. I mean, it's one of those things. I just think about Daniel and Malaya trying to go to sleep, and they keep coming in, and we know how loud Lily is, right? And we know Jack is a little rambunctious boy, right? As they say, they all say rambunctious. Um, and they're coming off of their junk, and what do you have? The highs and the lows.
Oh, sandwich, yeah. Yeah, I think there's going to be more than one arrest in this case. I
Oh,
do.
yes,
And I don't get the feeling that we're going to be waiting 3, 4, 5 years like
I
some
don't
are.
either. Yeah,
I
I don't
have
either.
a lot of unfortunately, I'm sad to say I walk away from these conversations not thinking that these children are returning alive, but I do walk away recently thinking that we will see justice.
Yeah, yeah. It's coming.
It
It's coming in this
absolutely is
case.
coming. Yeah. Yep. Keep
And
doing what you're doing, everyone, and keep praying and just
we got to keep the
keep
pressure.
it going, keep the pressure. I can tell you, I feel very confident that there's going to be justice. And a lot of you guys know I don't have a poker face, so you can probably just tell it in my voice.
Yeah. Um, damn. I don't know. I just like, what did they do with where are these babies at? I keep thinking, in my opinion, they are somewhere, like, like I always say, share with every with there's always a little bit of truth that they're telling us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because they got to have anchors, there has to be some truth in it for it to even slightly make sense.
Yeah.
And you hear Daniel saying Lily kept coming in and kept coming in and coming out, and then she was just poking her head in and just poking her head out. But
Mm-hmm.
I
It
think
sounds like Jack was
Jack.
the hardest of the children to
I
deal
think
with.
he's the one that got the brunt of it.
And so I won't be surprised if in the future we come to find out, um, yeah, that Jack got the brunt of it. Um, Again, I got the feelings today that, yeah, well, like I labeled my chauffeur later. I get the feeling Lily witnessed something she shouldn't have and wish she didn't. And that's why, cause of course that's anyone's gonna ask, like, why not all three kids? When her story of get them out and then I'm leaving with Meadow, well,
Yeah, I have never believed that.
right. And no, it just that doesn't even make sense. What does make sense is they were trying to get Meadow to sleep because they finally wanted to go to bed after partying all night, and Jack and Lily wake up. And yeah, you get angry because you want to go to sleep, and Daniel allegedly gets very upset because he was just getting Meadow to sleep, and that's when Jack. And I thought it was interesting because now, Justin, I didn't even think about this, but that's why, you know, I'm not an investigator, but someone who's an investigator for 27 years. Hold on, hold that thought. I'll be right back.
You're fine. Yep. Yep. Um, you know, because it never made sense to us. You know, we've all of us have always asked ourselves, why are they still in bed this late and you have sick kids? That doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense that you're a mother and you're up at 6:15, you say, and you're calling, you know, the school or whatever, and you're going back to bed, right? But you've got sick kids. They're going to need breakfast, they're going to need, you know, medicine, you're going to check on them. They, in my opinion, were up Wednesday. They were acting like idiots, the adults in the home. And then whatever they do Thursday morning or whatever, if they slept half the day or whatever, but they go back out Thursday, and that's when they go to the mall. They are seen in the parking lot, right? With Daniel says he sees one of his work buddies, right? And we just know that they come back. Now, they might have been re-upping their, you know, on their math. You know, they could have been trying to get something to get them to sleep. I don't know, but I believe that they were up again. And then there comes a time after being up for days, sometimes at a time, you crash, or you want to crash. You're so tired you want to go to sleep. And I think that's why they did not go to school Thursday and Friday, because they was up all night. Daniel says on a channel in a text, kids were not seen. No, JD, they were confirmed by the RCMP to be seen. That is not me. That is not Daniel. That is RCMP saying the kids were seen Thursday. I think it says afternoon with friends. That is confirmed. Right. So there's that. Thank you, Shannon, Peacemaker, Canadian, Jen, D. White, Joyous. Thank you, honey. Kim, Verna, Lady for Justice, SL. Thank you, honey. Verna again. Thank you, Music, House Music, Tina, Sherry, Andrea. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you for your support. She should have been checking on the kids, changing Jack's pull up, making them breakfast, and giving medication. And putting, yeah, that's right. That's right. If you was up at 6:15 or 6:17, and I've always said, you know, what do you do if, you know, I've said this 1,000 times, before you go to bed at night, if your kid is sick, you either say, okay, you know, you're not going to school tomorrow, or you say, we're going to make that decision in the morning and see how you are. one or the other. You make that decision the night before or you make it that morning. And it didn't sound, like we didn't know when Malaya made that decision, but for her to make this call, email, or whatever at 6:15, she had to be up, right? She had to make a conscious decision. She had to already be up, or she had to have an alarm clock to get her up. And in my opinion, from what I understand, I believe others understand, is she was already up at 6:15. And that is whenever they make that phone call, email, or whatever, and they something really bad happened at some point. And I think I absolutely think it had to do, in my opinion, everything with rugs coming down, either irritable or they wanted to sleep, and the kids were being kids, what kids do. Yes, the messages to school, in my opinion. That's true, Mohawk. That's absolutely true. Justin, remember, Daniel stated it was done on his phone. Who's to say he did not send the message to the school, in my opinion? I think at the end of the day, I think most of this overall falls on Daniel, in my opinion. I think Malaya perhaps participated or enabled or something, and I don't know how to say it. She but I think it boils down this. I believe the kids would be here if it wasn't like like I've always said. I've said with Sebastian Summers, if it wasn't for one person, and the stepdad. No, I don't think she's innocent. Don't misunderstand me, Elizabeth. I don't think she's innocent by any stretch of the imagination, because an innocent mother would not do this, right? But what I'm saying is, I think he perhaps has more to do. I mean, a mother would not let her kids just, you know, the world could forget this, tomorrow, and they would seem like they would be happy with it, right? They don't want us to talk about this. But what I'm saying is, I think where I don't think Daniel liked having the kids because of his own selfish reasons, I guess you could say. When you're addicted to rugs, you back?
Yeah, sorry.
Um, yeah, absolutely. A lot of 4-year-olds wear She enabled him. I think she might have enabled him, but I don't see where I don't see how she could be with someone for 2.5 years and not be on something.
Right. And yeah, being influenced by it. Okay, I stepped away, so I kind of missed what you were talking about for the last. I got also in a little rush, but I wanted to say, and I know he's watching, but like Daniel, I thought it was interesting because well, maybe not you, but I would look over when he's talking about, and where was that on? Was that Sonny's or maybe CBS or whatever, where he's talking about, they were in and out of sleep, and Lily would keep poking her head in, and he was drifting in and out of sleep or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think much of that whatsoever, but
Oh, I did.
what was put to me by a source was he's on purpose leaving Jack out of that.
Yep. Yep.
And I didn't catch that. Maybe everyone else did, but I didn't think anything of it. They have a house full of kids, whatever, I didn't think anything of it. But they seem to catch on to something
Um,
that in
and
a way that he said it. And I'm like, well, that's very interesting. So he's kind of distancing himself from Jack in that moment. So I had to listen to it again, and I can see that now.
what he says is very interesting to me. Is he says, people are saying I unalived the kids, and I've never heard anyone say that Daniel straight out unalived anybody.
Right. And then he keeps saying in this interview, if you play, he keeps saying the murders, the kids, the
Yes.
murders, like a statement.
Yes. Bingo. Watch this.
I didn't kill Lilly and Jack.
It's been 6 weeks now since you've seen Lilly and Jack. I just want to ask, how are you holding up?
It's been a long 6 weeks. I know that everybody basically in the world at this point is always wanting to know like what happened. It's been from sadness to anger at this point. And I know the RCMP and major working around the clock trying to piece everything together, and I'm grateful for that. But it always leaves the question, 6 weeks has gone by, and we know at this point they're not in the woods.
He looks like he's
And
on a
where are they?
bust.
Did you feel in the beginning that they suspected you?
Of course, the stepfather was always a prime suspect right off the beginning.
You felt that from the beginning,
Yeah,
but you don't feel that now.
no, I don't feel that at all. I asked for the lie detector exam, the polygraph exam. I gave them my phone.
No,
I have
he
told them,
didn't, Daniel. No,
Yeah.
you didn't. And
Yeah.
no, you didn't.
Yeah.
You did not. You put that, and I believe who told me what I was told over what Daniel's saying right now. People
Oh
can
my God.
believe me or not
Absolutely.
believe me. Daniel put that lie detector off for, I want to say, 3 weeks. Daniel, if you want to prove me wrong, say the time. I believe it was put off for about 3 weeks before he
Well,
finally took it.
well, no, and let me just show you something. He's going to kind of prove to you because what she asked him, she's going to tell you right here, Cher, when did you take the lie detector
Oh,
test? Watch.
do drug tests because there's a lot of
Watch
rumors
this.
online about a drug party. I know the person that said those rumors, and it was just to take the heat off themselves.
Was there
She should have asked more about that. It does not make any sense for a neighbor to willingly come out and say, yeah, I was driving past there. I kind of prejudged him, looked like a meth house. And, and I went on about my day. And then I realized a couple of days later, I realized there was kids missing there. It's kind of like one of those things you're like, I was just talking about her and she died. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those things like, you was just talking about someone and something happened. You was just talking about your aunt and something happened or whatever is an example.
mhm.
What does it mean to take the heat off? It makes no sense.
So there's some things that the RCMP has been kind of like in some trouble for the way that they will get people to confess to things, especially in cases like this. And I do think there's 100% certain tactics being used. And I have to think of the specific name that it's called, but RCMP does like to use it, and they actually do catch a lot of flack for it, questioning if it's pushing boundaries and pushing lines that they shouldn't or not. I'll have to get that to you. I'll look after work. And
When a
I think
kid's
that,
on the line, there is
yeah,
no for me.
exactly. And I think so. Canada is not different in the States, you guys, where RCMP can lie to him. They can make him feel comfortable to give him enough rope to hang himself, or make him feel comfortable, if you will. RCMP can lie. They can tell him, "Good job, buddy, you passed," and all of these things to make him feel comfortable. And they might be loosening his leash a little bit to make him feel comfortable. Absolutely. But I offered to get Daniel set up with a team of attorneys, as you guys know how I do. And I thought he was taking me up on it, but it turns out, Justin, he did not. And you knew that was going on at the
Yeah.
time, but yeah, it turns out he did not.
Yep. Listen to what he says right here.
Any kind of party?
No,
Was there any kind of gathering that someone
No.
might have thought was a party?
no,
There were no people at the house.
no, not the night before.
Not the night before, Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And the neighbor clearly said, I can't remember if it was Wednesday, Thursday. First time they ever spoke.
Okay, you mentioned you offered the
Listen to
to
this.
take a polygraph test.
Yeah.
Did the RCMP take you up on that?
Yes, it did.
And how did that unfold?
Listen.
That unfolded in my favor. They obviously know I wasn't lying about anything.
So they said, "Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
great, thank you. Come in
Yeah.
for a
Listen.
polygraph test."
Yeah, it took a little while to set up, and
When did you do that test?
I don't know the exact date, but
It took a little while to set up, he said. It doesn't take a while, Daniel, to set up. You know better than that. It does not take a while to set up a lie detector test, number one. And he doesn't know the date. Remember, Cher? See what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Right
Mhm.
there. Right there.
Yeah. Oh, and
Exactly
I
what the
showed
sources
these
said.
gentlemen the whole Netflix thing. So you can say now, I mean, the cat's out of the bag. But yeah, I've been talking with Daniel just like everybody and their moms and their cousins have been. But I've been keeping shit very private. But yeah, he texted me about the Netflix thing, and it gave me deja vu about Chris Proudfoot wanting some kind of deal, and then Don Wells and the $1 million pay-per-view thing. And that's when I honestly started changing my mind, because again, I was being very fair with Daniel, but I can't walk away from these conversations and think that he's innocent whatsoever. So,
Well, Cher, you're
but
actually
they were kind of shocked
usually
to see that
much
Netflix
more
thing.
compassionate to
Yeah.
more fair than, in my opinion, you should be.
Yeah, yeah,
but that's one thing I respect about you as well, is you go with your own conviction. And so I appreciate that about you. We don't always have the same view on a lot of things, but we respect each
yeah.
other's opinion tremendously, and it is what it is.
Because we are adults and we can think
Adulting,
differently.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I like that we do, because this is how we bounce things off of each other. Again,
Right.
thinking different, no stone unturned.
Yeah. So it's it's just one of those things where we've got we're here to find some answers,
Hi,
because
Missy.
there's people that are not telling the truth. Not telling the truth.
Yeah.
Right there.
Old.
that unfolded in my favor.
Everything about this interview,
He's worried about
you
his favor, how it makes him look.
it's all about him.
Yeah.
Everything went in my favor. They obviously know that I didn't do anything. I gave them a lie detector test. I gave them my phone. I gave them my wallet. I gave them everything that they wanted. It's a what? Here, mother chicken. Take anything you want. Find my kids. What can I do to help you? That's what you should be saying. Where is Jack and Lily? Where are they?
Mhm.
It's not about me, Daniel. It's not a song. Me.
Yeah,
It's not
me.
that. It's about Lily and Jack Sullivan, who truthfully is just another, it feels like another Summer Wells 2.0,
Oh yeah, yeah.
with how they lived, how these kids, oh God, it saddens me. Malaya says something on this interview. She says they couldn't keep up with the other kids.
Mm.
They couldn't keep up with the other kids. And well, probably not if they're not being worked with and if you're smoking Drano in, the
Oh
house.
my gosh.
I mean, it's the truth.
Yeah.
It affects your IQ and everything, of course. And when all your money's going toward that,
Hmm. And so that's a question I had too. Like, Daniel, did you owe anybody? And taking Malaya along for trips, like you said, 2.5 years, she absolutely, at the very minimum, knew something. But not only that, taking Malaya with to pick up and drop off, like you were doing that. So Malaya
yeah.
knows more. This didn't make me all of a sudden, oh, okay, I'm not trusting Daniel and I'm trusting more Malaya. And now this puts me, because I'll tell you what, I have the same conversation about asking questions about Malaya, and I don't have a single person that seems to have pity on Malaya right now. So that's kind of interesting as well.
And I mean, I question Janie. Janie is,
Janie's got a gun. No, I'm just kidding.
yes, it's weird.
Out on
I
the
mean, I
road with a shovel.
understand. I get it, like
Well, she
sticking
was
up for
up
your,
all night too.
yeah, I know. I mean, there's a lot of running going on. I think Daniel was keeping the roads hot.
Very early in the morning. Yeah, absolutely makes sense with being on math time and Coca-Cola time.
Yeah, it's bad. And it's, like whenever, like, I mean, these messages
A pew pew. Yes,
of
children.
these messages that are going on with Daniel, he's always said, there's so much more that I can't tell you.
Yeah,
Says it to almost everybody,
everybody. Yes.
right?
And what I
And
thought was interesting is he says he doesn't want to interview. Okay, he doesn't want to interview on the YouTubes with like me or you or whatever. He promised me an interview when this is all over, whatever that means. Okay. I'm probably not gonna get that now, but that's okay. Don't need it.
listen,
Um,
listen, I'll be going to the Canadian border. We will be going to a prison near you, Dan.
yeah. What was I saying? Damn it, now I forgot what I was saying.
You said he promised you an interview.
Oh, promise me an interview. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, okay. And here's the thing is, and I sent you that text. I'll have to find it again. But he was like, "Oh, I'm very comfortable," and he names all these mainstream media people, and he's like, "They'll help me with it. They're helping me. I feel comfortable with them, and they're helping me, as if they're like attorneys and shit and gonna
Oh
help them out of
shit.
this mess."
That is
Yeah.
so Daniel.
But
Look at,
that's very much a little bit, I'm like, he's a little bit more up on the narcissism scale, because he's like,
oh yes.
YouTubers are not worthy when like Nightline and CNN want me or whatever.
Right. Um look at this. He says, he talks about how he's got a source on the inside
Mm.
of RCMP and you can't tell anybody because that
Oh,
will hurt his
yeah.
source.
Do we have the same sources, Daniel?
Daniel, a lot of sources talk to more than one of us if they trust us. So okay, there he goes. I told investigators to
Right.
polygraph her family, and they are. Have you mentioned this to police? I work with detectives. Okay, sorry. That's why this can't get out. If it does, then I lose my in with the investigators.
Mm-hmm.
What about Hayden? I'm not sure that one I'd watch. He used to be close to Malaya. Why no media standing up for Jack and Lily? Even the natives pulled back and don't want involvement. Some with the interview yesterday. CBC, right? Yes. Yeah, I just did a on-set interview with for over an hour long with the cameraman, producers, and interviewers. He loves the explanation point. It's out Tuesday. CBC Nation. Mine is out on Wednesday. I think that comes on something. One world will turn on. The world will turn on Malaya.
Mm-hmm. He likes to
He-
say that.
Oh yeah, he kept saying they're not interested. The YouTubers aren't interested in me anymore. They're all on Malaya now. You was the one saying, sir, that Malaya is the love of your life, and you want to be the Daniel underneath the waterfalls that with your first date. He's I don't know. I think
Okay.
the math makes him feel like a big boy. Malaya didn't want to be anywhere near Cody. She was afraid to even drive anywhere close. Even don't worry, I have a guy on the inside now. I just can't say more than that, but evidence is mounting. The only problem is going to be hard for someone to give up the kid's location. The amount of jail time for this will be unheard of. Don't
Jail
say
time
anything
for
to anyone
what?
about the conversation.
Again, let's remind people, we all are well aware of what my father did, and not just my father. Again, there is a running thing. You want to commit a crime, you go to Canada. Because again, you've got mass murderers walking free every day on these Canada roads, British Columbia, Alberta, all of Canada. My father is free with all of the things that he has done. Okay. So he's a liar because you would not go to prison for very long at all if it's just lying to the police. And we're supposed to think that, right? Because we're being told they're alive and well. So really all that they're getting in trouble for then is lying to the police and having search parties. Well, you have to think about it. Search parties were already out and in the area. They never thought this was going to explode because they didn't have any idea that this was going to blow up within 12 to 14 minutes because there was already a high profile search going on. They had no clue. They aren't as smart as they want to make it seem like. You would not go to prison for a long time. So whatever the hell Daniel's talking about, Daniel, okay, we know like, okay, you can't pull the wool over my eyes for sure. So you know something that you are holding because what prison for what for so long? You know something because lying to the police, nope, that's not putting nobody in prison for long periods of time in Canada. Where's the Canadians at that know this is true? My dad got on the line the other day and was even kind of verifying, right? Good night, Missy. Oh, you're muted, Justin.
Crap, sorry, I was muted. Our laws is stacked here, right? Like they charge you for this is 3 to 5, and then they charge you this, it's 10 to 15, and then they charge you for this, it's another 10 to 15, right?
And
So it's
that's
like
not
it's like
necessarily happening.
40 it's like 40 years and for 3 different charges, you know what I mean? Murder in Canada is usually 25 years, but people do a lot less. Oh yeah. Yes. And that's what I've always said. He's always talking about Malaya did this, Malaya will be in jail, we'll visit her. Well, the only way that Malaya did something is if you know something. So I've never understood. It's not very smart by saying that. No, dogs went through the house and property. RCMP drug test, not a concern. I asked. I don't know about you, but I think if you have kids in that house and there's kids that go missing, drugs is going to be a big factor, especially with CPS. They removed Meadow as soon as they got there, right? And RCMP was the ones that allegedly called, right? I think Cher's gone. She couldn't stay around me because she would crack. I would find out. And I've always said, right? I've always said about him saying that. Well, you guys had the same story. If you guys have always had the same story, you're both in bed and you're sleeping all night, both of you, which they weren't sleeping all night, then hello, like, she did something, or you did something, or you both know something. Canada tends to drop most charges and settle. Yes. Is something going on in chat? I don't know, but when it comes to Durwood, he came out of the bushes, hot and heavy, always pointing to the fact that the kids are alive, and he did say that they Malaya took them, but he's always followed what Daniel and Janie say. I think the story of filling with potholes is crazy. It is. It is. Guys, please hit that thumbs up button. Please and please and please and thank you.
Yeah, I don't even know why they would put that out, but I'm not buying it. But don't worry, guys. Doesn't sound like a lot of people are buying that, so don't worry.
Yeah. He says, I want Meadow, not Malaya. It's not abduction. That's criminal investigation. It's missing persons case. Now, I think, and another reason why I kind of think Daniel has more to do with it as well is because Malaya left him. Right? Like, she left. Flat out left. And a lot of people's like, well, maybe that's just because, she wanted out. I think there was trouble in this relationship for a minute. Right? Durwood and Daniel like to laugh. Seems like it runs in them. Something. Are you there, Cher?
Yes, I am. Yep.
Okay. So if you look right here. Oh, did you see this? Hold on.
Can I zoom in on my phone? Oh, yep, I can. Okay.
Can you what?
I was just making sure I could zoom in so I can see better. I can see it much better now.
Malaya got out because the law all over that place, in my opinion.
Yep, that's
See, I mean, I think I think Malaya would be easier to break, like as far as for if the RCMP, but I don't know. We don't know how long they interviewed Malaya for.
Right. Well,
Daniel said
no,
4
yeah.
hours.
Right. I think that's about right, but I would say, yeah, I think they both got grilled for several hours. And so did
Share.
Daniel's mom.
What do you think about this? The where this boot print and this shoe was found, or this blanket. Do you know anything about it?
The blanket that was up in a tree.
Yeah, it was a piece of blanket. Let me show you this.
Yeah, that Daniel allegedly went and put in the tree behind searchers' back. Like, I'm talking, searchers were there, they looked there, it wasn't there,
Yes.
and then all of a sudden oh yeah,
Well, Daniel says, where was it at? Oh, damn, I don't even know. I had it. Oh, I thought I had it saved. I can't remember. I think it was right. Oh, here it was. All right. So here's where they're at, right? The shoe print, or the blanket was found like over here,
okay.
right here. And then the boot print was found like right here.
Yeah.
And look, this is an ATV trail. Like, this is straight out an ATV trail. Daniel's like, I went on every back road and every dirt road. You got this.
Yeah.
This is a
Now
ski
let me
trail
tell you something.
that goes
Let's
straight
talk about a
back.
conversation I had again. That boot print, one boot print, okay?
Uh-huh.
Now I didn't know this, but well, I heard it along with everyone else, but I was told this. It was like raining and wet, okay? For like, I don't know the day before, but have you heard that? Was it raining around that time before the
It was
kids went
supposedly
missing?
raining on and off all week.
On and
And
off all week. Yeah. So it
yeah,
was wet and muddy and whatever. So what you could do if you are trying to pull a hoax, which we can pretty much say that's what's happening. You don't plant baby blankets and this and that, and then one boot print. But what you could do is put a child's boot on your hand and go and make boot prints when it's been wet and muddy, right? To throw off an investigation, right? And try to get an Amber Alert to let people fall for it and are looking for a getaway
well,
vehicle.
that's what they pushed the whole time. Even
Exactly.
Malaya, I want him to do an Amber Alert. Daniel's like, shut the border, shut this, shut that.
Mhm.
Thank you, Jane. The walls are paper thin, so they both knew and participated in these babies' deaths allegedly, but I really don't believe that they are still with us.
No.
Uh,
No.
I think he took care of things after while Malaya cleaned. Yep,
That's a very,
yep,
that's a,
yep.
yeah, that makes
Thank
sense.
you, Jane. Thank you, Jane.
But to hear men that are in their between 50s and 70s, mid 70s around, okay? To hear them be like, oh, you just put the boot on, like they've dealt with that every day of their lives before. And you're like, wait a minute, what? What? And then you think, is he that smart to do that? But yeah, if you don't want to get in trouble, yeah. And one boot print, and then you got mommy out there with a shovel. Why? Covering up other people's footprints, or covering up potholes, or even
Well,
something more sinister.
um, what's Daniel's cousin's name? What's her name again? Starts with a. Does it start with a D? I can't think of her name right now. Help me, chat. Logan, thank you. Logan, she said, when I got there, she said, do you want me to watch Baby Meadow? And so you can go search. And Malaya said, no.
Mm-hmm.
Said, like, that's insane to me.
Right.
Like, if I was missing, you know, 2 out of 3 of my kids, the first thing I would say is I would give my other kid to a trusted human being that I trust with every fiber of my being and say, "Here, I need to go look for my children."
Right. Now let's play devil's advocate for a minute. Where law does tell family not to go out and search with the searchers because they have, they're trained to do that.
I
So they
I get
expect to have the parents sit there waiting for kids to walk back in the door, right? Because if kids
I
truly just go missing, they're actually found pretty quick, right, Justin?
oh, I mean, yeah, I mean, uh, I did statistics on a statistics profile on a 4 and a 6-year-old, and they're usually never hardly more uh, than no more than what would be considered a half a mile, and that's really pushing it.
Yeah.
They
And that's the same
can,
for here too. So that would be the same for the States and Canada. And
yeah,
I know
they
what
can.
you were thinking, like it doesn't matter. Law enforcement tells you to sit there, you'd be searching, and I agree.
Well, yeah, that as well, but like I would be doing something. I
Right,
wouldn't just be sitting there
right.
saying,
Trying to
"No,
convince
I'm
people
good."
that the door is silent.
Right? Like I would be productive in some way.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely. Yeah.
And it was Ocean. The response time was also rapid given their area in the area for looking for a missing kayaker. Already looking for a missing kayaker. Oh,
Yes,
wow.
that's what
I
it
didn't
was.
know
Yep.
that part.
Yes. And so they were there within like 14 minutes, Justin, because they
Yep.
were, and
Yep.
so they did not expect that because they weren't really following that pace. So they had really no idea.
Right. As a stoner, pothole is offensive. Meth holes, in my opinion. LOL. Thank you, Minnie. You're funny. You're so funny. Thank you, honey. Appreciate you. If it was raining on and off, the bugs would be crazy in the forest or anywhere. Well, yeah, and
Yeah.
Daniel said, uh, Jack and Lily never like to get cold, so they would come straight back to the house. First of all, you've kept them home for 2 days. So if you've kept children home for 2 days, they're probably not going to feel like going outside to begin with.
Right.
And they are going to get wet and cold, obviously. So they're and Malaya talks about, well, they were outside playing, but we didn't know it at the time. I mean, just because Janie says she heard the kids outside playing, she didn't see the kids outside playing, right?
Right. That's a whole nother mess.
Ah, is Jack and Lily's Cody's only children? I think so.
No,
Yes. No?
no. Or wait, no. Cody has siblings, right? Because Belinda's got
He has
more
other grandchildren. I know that, but
grandkids.
I don't know.
Or I thought they were from Cody, so that's my mistake. Yeah, hold on.
Women's Warrior says, Justin, my theory: a full night of Crackle Coca-Cola, the crash sleep can be depth of unconsciousness for some people. A hurricane could
That's
tear
true.
through. Yeah, not affected. Yeah. Yeah, something it's I think that they're giving us the anchors. I do think someone was coming in and out of that bedroom and someone did not like it.
Well, I
So,
didn't even think again. So this is where, some of us, this goes to show if you guys have something, whether you think it's something little and means nothing, send it into the RCMP, because I didn't even think nothing of him being like, Lily poked her head in a few times, and I have 3 gentlemen who have put over 27 years in the RCMP combined, who are between mid 50s and mid 70s between the 3 of them, and said he's on purpose distancing himself from Jack. Something happened to Jack. Lily witnessed it, so Lily was never going to be okay after that. Meadow, yeah, because that's his baby. When he says that's Malaya's diamond or whatever, that's her favorite child. No, that's his favorite child, because it's with the girl he's obsessed with, which goes along with being an addict, the whole thing, but we can get to that. But I never thought about it. And so that's something some of us would look right past, not realizing, okay, he's distancing himself from Jack. Why? What'd you do to Jack? What did Lily see?
Oh, did you see this, guys? Did y'all see what I think it's the First Nation people did to Belinda? Did y'all see that? Share. Okay, I'll show you. Look at this. Okay. This is on Facebook. It's a voicemail. Yes, this is Belinda Gray. I can be reached. Blah, blah, blah. I've heard concerning things of Jack and all the rumors I've heard coming at me. If you don't mind, please reaching back to me. I'd really appreciate it. All right, let me play this little video right here, because you're going to be shocked when you hear this, because this is something else, Mr. Sisters. I was like, oh my God. Okay, let's see here. Damn, 1 second. Okay, it's by Daphne. Daphne did a wonderful job here. Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. Okay, here it is. Oh, I had it pulled up. And look at this picture of Lily. I've never seen this picture of Lily. It's so cute. Watch this.
Today I'm just going to say it's a drama-filled video. I was really debating on whether I should make it or not, but I feel that there is just so much drama within this case, and the entire thing should be on finding Jack and Lily. But now we have family members arguing to the point to where people's information is being doxed online. Now, what I'm about to let you listen to is a video of Durwood on June 19th. He was on Clutch Them Pearls video, and this is the clip I'm about to show you, saying the children would not be on the reserve, as the reserve would not take that responsibility or backlash for having the children. Now, the following day, on
Look how
June
cute they
20th,
are.
he says, yes, the children are safe on the reserve, but not the one in Canada, okay?
72.
And he's 1,000% ironclad. Okay, this has caused a bunch of drama. Miss Belinda Gray, the bio grandmother, reached out to the chief of the reserve.
Listen to this.
And the chief was not very happy about this, as she took it as an insult.
Why?
And she backlashed out to Belinda about that. I'm going to let you listen to the 2 videos of Durwood back to back, and then show you what I'm talking about. Stay tuned. And before we get started, make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
Do you think the kids are on the reservation, or do you think someone has them? He knows 80% though, remember.
And no, I don't think they're on the reservation.
Okay. Because, I mean,
The reservation will not take that. The reservation, the councils on the reservation will not take those risks.
Exactly.
Okay, now that you've listened to that first clip, on
this.
Justin's channel, I want you to get ready to listen to this next clip.
Now listen to what Derwood
And
says.
in my opinion, he has started so much drama within the family. He even said in another video that he wanted to stir up some shit. So stay tuned and let's listen to this next clip. And don't leave just yet, because I have messages from Jamie McKenzie, that's
I agree,
Daniel's
1-800.
mother, who was also talking about Belinda. That'll be at the end of this video. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Sherry, honey. Appreciate you.
They're alive, and I'm probably, my goal in this was, I said, my number one goal, if we could get those kids back alive, that would have been it. But knowing what I found out today through CPS and the information that I found out from this person, and believe me, it's ironclad. It's 1,000%. The kids are alive, and somebody has them that's taking care of them. Meadow is in custody of CPS, and they're going to decide where Meadow goes. And like, I have no control over that. And if Logan could get temporary custody or permanent custody of Meadow, I would be happy with that. And I talked to well, I can't say that. Let's just say I recommended Logan to the proper people to have Meadow. Now, Jack and Lily, I'm telling you, they're alive, and I'm sure they're being protected by the Native community. Probably not the Native community in Shubenacadie. And they may not even be in Canada. Now, that's what I know. And there's a big difference between what I know and what I think. So I just told you what I know.
He knows this.
Now that we heard what Derwood had to say, Belinda.
He knows this, y'all. Knows this.
Had reached out to the chief of the reserve, and she says, "This is Belinda. I can be reached at so and so. I would really appreciate being able to talk with you concerning and all the rumors I've heard."
Yeah.
He knows that's lies. Like, he straight up knows. So Derwood can't be trusted, unfortunately, you guys, and I hate that. But he knows that that's not true. Yeah, they did not pass the borders. He absolutely knows. You guys, I also do talk to border agents, and you know, because we're on bordering towns, right? So we're an hour away from one border and we're 20 minutes away from another border. So yeah, he's lying. He knows he's lying, and most Canadians listening to this now knows that he's lying, and that wouldn't. No, absolutely.
He hung up on me.
Yep, and then he went and talked shit about you right away. I was watching all of it, and he said that you didn't let him talk and all of that, and that it was all lies.
He said I was mean to him and everything else.
Yep.
Listen, Daniel could come up here right now and I wouldn't be mean to him. Mean is not asking you questions, and that's not mean. Have you ever seen me like be mean to someone up here, like talking to them? I'm not mean to anybody like that.
No.
You know, not buying your bullshit is not mean. Just means I'm not buying your bullshit.
Yeah.
So, but he has ran around here and switched his story just as much as Daniel.
Yep.
And you have to wonder.
You have to wonder why. When he's saying stuff like, yeah, they called me and, you know, said, I think Daniel's abusing the kids. And, well, I just said, as long as she's with Daniel, we're not butting in. We're not. So you knew that, but all of a sudden, this is when, you know, oh, I think they told me because I was going to be the protector. But no, as long as she's with Daniel and, you know, they're taking care of the kids, I'm ignoring the abuse. That's essentially what he's telling us all.
Yes.
And it makes no sense. And I can tell you, RCMP has told Durwood to knock his shit off. Him and Daniel's mom have been impeding or I'll just say hindering an investigation. And I mean, they freely said it, but I can tell you I've heard it from people's mouths myself, and both of them, and they're still doing it, FYI. And I mean, everyone knows that too because they can see it. But
I think a
yeah,
lot of people. Well, I mean, a lot of people's not buying his shit anymore, and
nope. And you
I
guys
was
are right.
the first one to call him out because I was just like, dude, you can't say you ate no 80% when you know you just need to talk to Malaya to get one thing back. He didn't even know what a damn timeline was.
Right.
Share. I mean, come on. It's crazy. But listen to this. Listen to this. This is crazy what happened with Belinda.
Coming at me. If you don't mind reaching back out, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Well, I guess they spoke to each other, and this is what was said. Belinda, you are the spokesperson for your band, then you are doing them a disservice. So the first part is from Belinda, and then
What's that?
Michelle,
He's
the
kissing
chief, writes
Belinda's
back
butt, and you
from the
wanna know
reserve.
why?
What's that?
He's kissing Belinda's butt, and I want to know why.
Who is?
Derwin.
Well, yeah, well, he said, Belinda, even if you're wrong, you're still right, or something
But
like that.
he calls in the Sonnies and he kept saying, I don't mean to take the time from you. Yes, you did. And she's
Oh,
not going to
it's
say it
all
because
on
she's
you.
too classy and she wants you to talk. So keep on talking. So you're good. But yes, you did. You called in basically to silence Belinda, and it's not fooling nobody. And I can tell you right now that head honchos within the law in different agencies aren't falling for Durwood's crap either. I don't know why he continues because they're idiots, and I don't think they understand because unlike Sebastian Rogers, and I told you this, Justin, and feel free to tell me to shut up whenever, but unlike Sebastian Rogers and Summer Wells, where most of us were studied before these kids were reported missing, I will say that's not the case here with the Jack and Lily Sullivan case, because I can honestly say a lot of them, including some of the law enforcement, is kind of shocked to learn how the true crime works on YouTube and social media. They're learning it kind of through this case now. And some of
Well,
you know that to be true.
when she says study, she means these parents watched us
Yeah,
beforehand.
before Summer was reported missing, suspects were watching us.
Summer wasn't
They knew
missing.
who they could play against you, and they knew what games they could play. Same in
Oh, yeah.
Sebastian's case. This isn't in this case. No, that did not happen. A lot of people are shocked to find out just how good, how good the true crime world and how bad that it can be. So I think that Durwood and Daniel come on doing this, not realizing that yes, it absolutely can and probably will be held against you one day. So keep it on. Keep it on.
It's not our first rodeo.
Danielson, not just my channel, but I'll speak for me because I'm talking. My channel has put someone behind bars before. Okay? Your mouth and your text will and can be used against you, which is
Sure can.
probably why a lot of lawyers aren't running to back you, but you didn't want help getting lawyers and media help, did you, Daniel?
Daniel thinks he knows all the answers. He thinks he knows all the answers. But look what I think it's the chief says to Belinda right here.
And then again, Belinda writes after that. So there was some words in between both of them, and I'm not going to read it all because it's a bunch of drama filled. You can read it if you'd like, but I believe that, Belinda's taking Durwood's word for this. And
I hope Belinda, listen, and I don't blame Belinda whatsoever. Belinda is just a grandma who wants to know where her grandkids is, but she's desperate. And when people are desperate, they want to know any answers they can. And Durwood's here saying, I know 80%, or I know this for a fact, and all of this. And Belinda wrote, if you're the spokesperson for your band, then you are doing them a disservice. Try just speaking to people instead of trying to act the victim. Some people, include myself, uses phrases not to invoke, but just the way we talk instead of trying to dissect every word. Try listening. It is crazy. It is a crazy question. Yes, it is. But with all the crazy out there and no answers to be found, I was looking for reassurance from you to let me know it's crazy. Instead, I get a reason why there is still not much prejudice. I now have no further reason to contact you. And this Michael person said you called the tribal chief. I don't know how do you pronounce it. Mick. I just call it Mick chief, and asked if we are hiding Lily and Jack on the reserve. I only called you because I listened to your voicemail and wanted to tell you your information you have to be given by the RCMP. And that's the thing. He denied it. Durwood denied it on my live because I just wouldn't have it. I just would not have it that the tribes would be hiding Jack and Lily. That is absolute nonsense to say a tribe would be hiding two children and that the RCMP can't go on there. The RCMP can go wherever the hell they want if there is a child being held against their will. And then Durwood is telling this he was telling this, I think, on Sonny's. And, Belinda, she's just a vulnerable person. She has no idea that this world even existed, like true crime on social media and all that. And he is telling Belinda, Lily and Jack are on that tribe. And so Belinda calls and she's just wanting to know, for her own sense of being, because Durwood has put this in her mind. And again, I don't blame Belinda whatsoever because she is just a grieving grandmother who wants answers. But then you have Durwood, who, is saying that he knows things are happening every, 10 minutes. And that's wrong. Right. Exactly. Exactly, young black economist. Exactly. The tribe would have reported the kids were there. Oh my gosh, absolutely. And I'm sure that they even, checked, if Malaya was staying there at all. Justin, why show Malaya's messages to a YouTuber? Wrong. Which messages are you talking about? And listen, let me just make something real clear here. I wasn't the one that put those messages out, but if the mother and the stepfather and the family are lying on, if they're saying something opposite that they said on an interview, you damn right I'm going to put it out.
Mhm.
Because listen, my interest is not for Daniel or Malaya.
Malaya.
We are talking about two vulnerable individuals, two children who cannot fend for themselves. And that, when the mother is not speaking up for her own children, and when the father or stepfather is changing his stories, someone's got to speak up for these kids, because at this point, Jack and Lily is the world, because they're not doing a damn thing.
Right.
So there's that. You know, we're not the one changing our stories every 3 seconds, saying I was asleep, you was asleep, I went and jumped on a four-wheeler and did 20 or 30 acres, then I jumped in a car and came back and the RCMP was already there. No, the RCMP wasn't there. I'll visit Malaya in jail with my child. Come on.
Right. And his Facebook went back and forth because he told me they were broken up, and I saw on their Facebook that was changed, but now it's back to in a relationship. And I do think that he posted that picture of him in Meadow as a dig to Malaya, to piss Malaya off, because now it's into his back
Yeah,
with him like
exposure.
fishing and stuff, right? So she doesn't care.
Well, I mean, look at little Meadow. She is very tiny herself.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. She's not reaching milestones properly.
Justin, I didn't say you. Justin, why show Malaya's messages to a YouTuber wrong? I still don't understand what you mean then.
What do you mean?
I still don't understand what you mean, Lori.
Other people put it out. If it's out there and being discussed, we have every right as creators to pull them up and discuss them. Justin didn't text Malaya privately and then put the texts out. This is somebody else.
I don't know what you mean, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I missed
But
it, so I don't
but
know either.
listen,
But
you say something that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, whatever.
Is it Malaya's lawyer? She supposedly, allegedly has some.
Malaya has an attorney that is an attorney, but not. Like, I don't think we'll see this person like repping her in court or something like that. I think.
Oh, okay. I think Andrea said she's saying Belinda sharing them and breaking Malaya's trust.
Well, Malaya had already done that to Belinda. Belinda is just out there trying to get answers where her grandbabies are. So if she thinks that this is helping her, and
but yeah, this is the thing. Malaya is not really even I mean,
Malaya broke that trust already.
Well, she's not even speaking really on her grandkids,
Right.
or on her kids, rather. She's not even speaking. She's done a few messages, but it's nothing really in depth.
Right.
Justin, can you confirm Durwood is kin to Malaya, not Daniel? I can't confirm. Durwood has so many names.
Who said that? Because I actually recently, within the last 48 hours, heard that myself, and I didn't know that. I thought that he was yeah, he's kin to Malaya and Daniel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, translation is often lost in text or chat. It is. Sometimes you read it wrong. So, but is it wrong for Belinda to put out the message? Well, I don't know if she actually put them out. I think she may have sent them to a creator, and then a creator put it out, to be honest with you. So I think that's more what it was. Now, I mean, I can't say, Belinda is the world's greatest grandmother, but all I can say right now is that I think Belinda is a good person, and I think she's the only one that is speaking up.
Yep.
and actually wants answers and is
And
not lying.
well, that we can say that we know of, but I don't feel Belinda's on here stirring the pot, just trying to distract people. Belinda's out here really trying to figure
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But, I also understand Belinda comes from a certain generation, and I'm sure was not happy about Cody's decision, right? Cody's decision of just not being in the kids' lives. And once Cody made that decision, I'm sure it's awkward.
Yeah.
It was awkward for Belinda as well, and she wants to see her grandkids and all of that, and she didn't know where they lived. When she went there, she thought it was a camp.
Right.
It looks like a camp. So I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, Cher, what time are you going to be live? What time are we going to be over there?
So somebody 3 hours from now, a little less than 3 hours, give or take about 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
I close here at
Which is good.
10. I'll be home about 10:20, and I'm hopping right on the computer to go live.
So that'll be midnight me, something like that.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I
Okay.
know it's late, but I know Daniel will
No,
be
no, I'll be
watching,
there.
and I've got my notes. I didn't bring my notes like I wanted to work, so whatever we didn't go over here. And yeah, anything you guys want to ask. I'm not Bible. Justin's not Bible, but we have conversations with people that do help us steer a certain way or not a certain way. So, and the people that know me, my haters will all go talk shit, whatever. But people know me, know that I vet shit and I'm bringing what I think is important, or I shut my mouth, right?
Of
Um,
course. Well, I mean,
and I'm not trying to bring you guys garbage or lies or muddy the waters anymore. So
it's
I
fine.
can,
Trust me. I mean, we were talking to different individuals, and then
and our
you
stuff seems to be
contacted me.
aligning.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's
And that's
interesting.
why he was freaking out earlier.
Yeah, I was
So,
shaking like a chihuahua, Justin. Oh my God, I'm so good. I was calm, and then I lit a joint, and I only smoked half that joint after getting off the phone with you.
you're funny. You're
No,
funny.
that's my
Hold on
new
one second.
rule, you guys, and you hold me to it. I'm not allowed to smoke joints anymore while I'm live streaming about these cases. No more smoking joints or sparking joints while I'm live anymore. And I have to have my camera on for at least half of the show.
You're fine. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Cher, for coming up. I really, really do appreciate you.
Thank
And
you
I
for
will be
letting me
over
vent
there
this.
in just a little bit.
Yeah,
So,
I'll see you in
guys,
about 2 hours and 45 minutes, guys.
make sure you drop Cher's channel, and she's gonna go over her notes, and you might learn some more stuff
I'm gonna hop
over
down
there.
and close out. Love you, Justin, and talk to you shortly.
Thank you, dear. Appreciate you.
Bye,
Thank you,
chat.
dear Shannon. Thank you, Justin, for always working and giving Jack and Lily a voice. In my opinion, beautiful Jack and Lily haven't been with us since the day they reported missing. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree. Dear Shannon, I really don't think there's, listen, with all of the heat that has taken on in this case, there's no way that Malaya and Daniel wouldn't just say where they are. Daniel says, I wasn't home for most of the day. Wasn't really home for most of the day. Right? Blatancy. I know a lot of people's like dig up the potholes and stuff. I don't think, hey Nana, good to see you, honey. Hope you're well. You doing okay, babe? I don't think that they're on the property or anything. I think they're out there somewhere, just further out. I think we need to check in a very rural area. Daniel's going to know. Daniel's familiar with that area. He grew up in that area. He's lived there 20 some years. He's an avid fisherman, fishes a lot. And I think we need to look at dirt roads, culverts, and water, in my opinion. So there's that. Guys, thank you all so much. I'm sorry, Abigail. I hope you feel better, honey. Pulling muscles, that's not fun. Shares channel, guys, please drop shares channel. It's Voices Behind the Wall. Right here, Voices Behind the Wall. Share, drop your channel. I might got it right here. Hold on one second. Voices Behind the Wall. But one thing I do think that is going to be happening in this case is I do believe that there are going to be answers in this case. Can't stay up 3 hours, replay crew. All right, pretend judge. I understand. I understand. Guys, I was so tired yesterday when I was live. I don't know, yesterday and the day before, I was so tired. I've been working so much, talking to so many people, trying to just dig and dig and dig and working on these cases. I was cross-eyed yesterday, almost trying to talk. This is Cher's channel right there. That'll take you straight to the live, and you can just hit reminder, and it'll send you the notification. Let me tell you something. I almost fell asleep on me last night. I almost fell asleep like another YouTuber always does. I'll definitely be watching on my commute tomorrow. All right. I know, SL. My birthday's in a couple days, so I'll take a break. I want baby kisses, I know. Oh, good. Let's go over there. Come on, let's go. All right. And that triggered him. All right, guys. Bye-bye.